Alrighty, fellas. Time for an updaters on this 12 valve. Oh, it's been a minute, guys. Oh, that's my finished product of the trailer. I did, this is the trailer we did the frame on. I'll do a video on it another time, but you guys can remember that. Sloppy weld. But hey, it did the job, right? About this truck. So, I built this truck, my memory serves me right, 2015 or 2016. It's been a minute. And I got carried away. We got Isaac with us here today. He's like, Dad, what are you doing? I always do videos with David, but Isaac's usually not up for it, typically. But today I was like, hey, Isaac, hang tight. We're gonna do a video, right, Isaac? Alrighty. So, here, let's buckle up. Hit the road. This ain't no 2024 Power Stroke. She's shaky and doesn't have the power. But let's talk about what I got carried away with. So I always wanted a 12 valve. I came across this gem. I think the guy was in his late 70s, early 80s. He owned this truck his whole life, and I was the second owner, right? So I got it. It had some oil leaks. While we're in there, kind of phrase. Well, while we're in there, let's take care of this. Let's take care of that. So long story short, I'd call it a 1.5 or 2-stage build kit. So the pump got reworked, went through, balanced. I just don't remember what they did with the pump. I know they messed with the pump, but I just don't remember what they did. The guy that was working on it was a buddy of mine. At the time, he ran his own shop. Now he doesn't run his shop. He let employees run it, so I don't really work with them anymore. There's nothing wrong with his employees. It's just, when you're buddies, and it's just kind of quick in, quick out, instead of this long process of dealing with multiple people. Anyways, it's nothing bad. I'm just saying, I used to use his shop as an overflow, but not anymore, so past that. So while this truck was in his shop, he's like, Paul, we should do this, we should do that. He knew I used it as a kind of like a backup project slash, hey, let's fulfill my dream truck. So he put in a cam, he put a new head in here. They did a couple more things. I know they put a big old fatty radiator. You watch the temp gauge, right? It goes up, and then boom, gets knocked down pretty good. Just kind of, the radiator's an overkill for this truck. I mean, if your peg's running that far between, that's quite a bit of difference there. You guys see it right there on the bottom, right? So anyways, so I ended up building this engine with the cam and a head and all that. And once they put it in the truck, it was just kind of like, yeah, Paul, you got carried away. This truck can't handle weight. Yeah, I did put, give or take about 21,000 pounds on a gooseneck behind it, meaning trailer and load. And absolutely no issue with power. But the truck was getting tossed around, so that was the last time I ever did it. The truck has airbags. The suspension has been completely gone through. The transmission, it's local shop out of Tri-Cities built it. I think probably about a stage 2 on it. Upgrading discs, upgraded clutches, discs, drums, input shaft, built in the whole 9 yards. Triple disc torque converter. So yeah, the transmission's there, but it's a 2-wheel drive. It's a 96. No, I'm not going to be loading it to the gills anymore. It's going to be kind of suit the spirit or the soul kind of truck, like I went out today to see how this trailer tracks, right? The project's all done, you got to test it. So here we go. We took out Gramps. That's the nickname for this truck. And I wish I could tell you all this crazy stuff, but I just don't remember what all was done to the pump. I myself, one of these days, going to dig up the invoice and see what they did with the pump, because I feel like there's plenty of power in it. But I don't think we went with anything on the injectors. Right now, I was researching power driven. Those boys with them 12 valves, seems like they got them down pretty good. They have pilot holes and all this pre-injection, not pre-injection, much shoots a small amount of fuel right before the main event, and it gets the chamber going. So I think we'll be buying a few things from them, but end of the day, this truck can't handle weight. So kind of what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking it's been bugging me for the last 10 years. I want to put an F430. I want to either build an F350 or F450 with a blown engine and put this engine in there. I'm kind of torn because this is such a clean truck. If you put a stock engine back in here, it'd be perfectly fine. It's not going to diminish the value of this truck. Yeah, it's not original, but a good running engine is good. But at the same time, all the work I'm going to put into swapping this engine, I might as well start fresh with another engine and put in that work. So you guys see what I'm torn between. Anyway, so this truck has far more power than it ever needs to. It's turned down quite a bit. And I mean quite a bit. This truck doesn't come near its potential, what this engine can pull. If it tells you anything, we're climbing a hill, right? 62 miles an hour. My EGTs, man, I really isn't picking it up. It's, kind of fluctuating between 680 to 700. My boost is just under 10 psi. Oh, the hill climb just steepened. Obviously, I'm not towing anything significant, but the coolant is just bouncing around. There's plenty of capacity there. It just pops the thermostat open and goes, oh, too much, closes it, and then pops it up, closes it. So if it was pretty toasty outside and I was making this thing work, it could easily maintain its temps. So this thing wants to go. It just does not have it. Compared to today's day and age with brakes and all, this thing don't come close. It doesn't have the braking power of the modern day vehicles. It's all freshened up. It's all new parts. They're all adjusted. They're all greased. But, it's just a little bit of common sense. So, what does it mean for this truck? My father-in-law's done with it. So, me and my father-in-law owned this truck all along. Well, in the end, backside of it. After I built it and it sat around. It was too small for me and my family. It was too nice to let my guys trash it as a shop truck. So it just kind of sat there, and my father-in-law started driving it. And then he got himself in a Ford Gen, and this one kind of sat around. So he was tempted to sell it and push it out. I'm like, no, dude, don't do that. No, nobody's going to pay us what I have in it. So I just kind of picked it up, brought it back. What can I tell you? What's my intentions? Just, just a good old 12 valve, handy around. It's an older truck, so I'm not going to push it. But, I might throw a light load on it here and there and let it stretch its legs and put some heat through that engine. It's a nice ride for a 96. It's a very nice ride for a 96. Just not a 24 Platinum or Limited. Not a 24 Power Stroke. That's all I'm saying. Has plenty of power. What would I feel comfortable with this truck at its brakes and suspension? I think I could go up to 15, but I don't want to. I think a good rule of thumb I'm going to keep it is as long as it's under 10,000 behind the truck, I don't mind grabbing and going with it. But over that, I just don't want to stress it. I want to keep this truck around, enjoy it. Yeah, the body's great and all, and I absolutely have no problem with second gens, but my heart's in this engine, My heart's in its heart. I absolutely love this engine, what it does, what we were able to accomplish with it, So yeah, it's a freshened up engine, it's a solid engine, and it just does well. I'm really itching to put this thing in a 450 and open up its potential, make it work. That's what a 12 valve's for. I could barely crack the thermostat open. This thing stays cold all the time. It needs some heat. It needs to be put to work. I understand that. So that's why I'm tempted to put it in a much bigger truck and make it work. Anyways, guys, I know you guys might have been hoping for some crazy video, but more or less I'm the second owner. Father-in-law kind of joined, so I make him the third owner to this truck for its lifespan. Older fellow was pretty much crying, letting it go. He's like, we just can't pull our RV anymore. I have no use for this truck. I'm happy you're buying it. Seems like you're a good kid. And keep in mind, this was like 8-9 years ago. So, yeah. I'll just wrap it at that. If you're curious, let me know in the comment section. I'll post up some videos. One of these days I'll take it out on a small load. As I said, just kind of let the fluids warm up and let it go through its paces. And let me know what you want to see. Fuel mileage, power, how it climbs, how it descends. It had an exhaust brake once upon a time, and we had to pull that out and put it in another truck because this truck wasn't being used for nothing. Anyways, if you want to know more about this 12 valve, it's an old truck. Not a lot of people care to know about these older trucks. Y'all are interested in the new stuff. But let me know. I'll keep y'all posted. As always, may the Lord bless you, and may all have a mighty fine day.